I can't ask forgiveness for something I didn't do. Even if the president says I must apologize for racism, I will not apologize for racism because I wasn't racist. So you can just insult colored people and nothing should happen to you. My brother, for too long colored people has been taken for nothing in this country. But racism, I will never. How can you want to make me a racist? Me? Racist? I will continue to praise President Ramaphosa even when he asked me to resign. How can I be racist, my brother? Me?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As many of you will already know, PA President Gayton McKenzie is currently under fire for old tweets that have resurfaced. Tweets filled with racial slurs, offensive language and controversial claims. The minister didn't back down when confronted. Instead, he doubled down, defended his past and called the backlash politically motivated. Today we'll be breaking down what he said on an ENCA interview and we'll also be asking the hard questions. Can a man change? Should a cabinet minister be held accountable for words from his past? And what does this all mean for South Africa?
Minister, the tweets, a lot of racial slurs, the K word used a lot. Let's first just find out. These are your tweets. You own them.
Yes, there's one or two. There's not mine. There's AI, but the majority of what I've seen, the ones you showed me now, those are my tweets.
So people are quite angry, of course, suggesting that you are racist. These are racial slurs. How would you respond to that?
All right. Explain to me first. Have I directed, using the word, have I directed it at somebody? Have I ever called anybody the K word in my life? Is there anybody that can come up? Number one, no, there's not. I had hundreds and thousands of followers. When those tweets came out that day, it was making a point because I hate racism. I was making a point. And when I made that point, why was there no uproar? Why was there no complaint? Because now they are changing what I've said. Somebody there, I showed you now, somebody said, this word was, I'm the one that called that person to order. And where I used the words, why don't they go and check? It was the quote of Gandhi.
One of the tweets suggests that words like tenderpreneur and black diamond basically just describe you as a better K word.
Yes.
Would you own that? That suggests
100%.
that.
100%. Let me explain something to you. The first thing that Africans, the mistake they're making, they want to own this insult as exclusively African. It's not only them that's being called that. I grew up in the colored community. That's also insulting towards us. The word is not belonging to the African black exclusively. So it's not the insult alone. So when somebody says to me, and you must check the conversation before that, Mackenzie, you're a black diamond. I said, you're being racist. Why do you think I'm a better black? That is in the context. You can't take out the tweet of 15 years. Without context.
Are those tweets correct? In your position as a cabinet minister now, if you were to write those tweets this very moment, would you?
No, but I wasn't a cabinet minister. I was a socialite. I was a troll. I was a Twitter thing. There's a lot of things I look back today that I cringe to say, did I really say that? But racism, you can't put racism on me. I always tweeted as a black person. So who was I racist against? Against my mom? Against my children? Against myself? You see, my brother, let me tell you straight up two things very clearly. This thing has nothing to do with this. This is all politics. Let me tell you something. That's the first thing I want to say to you. This whole thing, they have to go back. This is a campaign against me. For you to go back 15 years and come here. If there's things I did 15 years ago, the president should fire me with some of those things that I did 15 years ago.
And those calls are mounting this very moment for you to go as a cabinet minister because of these tweets. How do you respond to that?
I think firstly, let me just make one thing clear. I didn't hire myself here. Two, President Ramaphosa hired me. If President Ramaphosa called me right now and he says, I want you to resign, I will never fight him. I will, within 5 minutes, you will have my resignation. because I respect him. And after 5 days, you will not hear me have anything bad to say about him or the GNU, because I believe in the president. I believe in the GNU. So I'm not those type of people. When you're inside, you just praise the president. I will continue to praise President Ramaphosa, even when he asked me to resign. He hired me. You see, they mustn't. This for me is a job that I do. You can see you found me at work. I don't know how you found me, but I'm busy working here. I came here this morning. The whole day I was working.
But are the calls valid, though, that you should resign?
Those calls are not valid. On what reason? On what basis? On what basis? Malema, he talks about, yeah, Kenyan respect women. This one talks about, let us all talk. What have you done? You think 15 years ago I thought I'm going to be a minister? I was a rich, black socialite, living life, owning nightclubs, driving sports cars. And when I became a minister, I found God, and I changed my whole life. If you want to punish me at the ballot box. As far as the job is concerned, I got so much love for my president that if he tells me right now to resign, I will resign and I'll go naar my mense toe, dat ons werk vir 2026. Spijzani.
So are you saying people must forgive you then for the purported racial slurs and
No,
sexism?
I can't ask forgiveness for something I didn't do. Why I'm asking forgiveness for some of the nonsense things I said about guys and swearing some guys, whatever. Not racism. I don't apologize. Why will I apologize for something that I didn't do? Even if the president says I must apologize for racism, I will not apologize for racism because I wasn't racist. Must I be so desperate for a job that I start apologizing for stuff? I'm a brother. I'm another type of guy. Not that. What you see here, they fear me. They have been calling me Pantit, mustn't be here. They've been saying, hey, this Pantit, he mustn't be a minister. Then every time I beat them at the by-elections, where's Pantit and all? Now they found racism. What racism? How can I be racist, my brother? Me!
And what about the alleged sexism, of course, things that you've said about women in general?
No, that I must apologize. That I'll apologize freely because you look at them as being assholes. That I'm terribly sorry for the things we used to say, for the way that we've behaved. And sometimes we'll be like saying to a girl, we'll say, hi, and I'll be like, hey, go to hell. And that is not how a man should have spoken to women then. But that's the time Kenny was eating sushi and it's not making excuses. There was that one, I will apologize. But racism, I will never. How can you want to make me a racist? Me? Racist? No, if they want to beat me, they must beat me at the ballot box. And I'll meet them in 2026.
How do you then answer to those people that say that, Minister, just a week ago, you were calling out a podcast for racism, but now these tweets coming through, and you were very harsh in dealing with the young people there. And now these tweets are coming through, of course, with these racial slurs coming from your own typing.
Let me tell you what I don't believe in. I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe in consequence culture. I tweeted, I said, no one, this was my tweet, no one wants to see these kids destroyed. But we will destroy them if we let them just get away with it. There must be consequences. Those are children. But once you do nothing to them, tomorrow they will shoot colored people. Or they will do something more than just saying things about colored people. Colored people are also human beings. Why is it that Penny Sparrow is in jail? So you can just insult colored people and nothing should happen to you. My brother, for too long colored people has been taken for nothing in this country. We are not African, but we are the first nation. But we are not African. So where were we born? So if you tell me now that I must say nothing when colored people are being told they're crazy, as a leader that has the majority constituency coming from the colored area, I will never do that. You see, people are too comfortable to insult colored people. And they think I'm those colors, they're so desperate for a job here, and our colored leaders. I'm not that type, Masakant. You're not going to insult colored people. Those kids are children that must face what they've said, but they must be treated as children, and there must be consequence management. And that's what I tweeted. Never will I destroy anybody. The people know I don't believe in cancel culture. But how do I? I've seen so many people in life that have done something wrong. I've done things wrong. I was forgiven. Those kids, I would have probably been the best savior for them going forward. They must know You don't insult the race like that.
And Minister, just on Kenny Kunene, you dealt with him, praised, in fact, for dealing with Kenny Kunene, who you believe is innocent, by the way, that he doesn't have relations with the accused. But you were effective in removing him in his position, suspending him from the government position in the city of Johannesburg. Wouldn't that be an appropriate action while there are still investigations looking into your matter of the racial slurs?
That is a party decision. It's not, the party took a decision, not Gayton McKenzie, of what Mr. Kunene must do. And he was the number one person saying, let me stand back. So my party will talk to me. If they think, what I can tell you now, where I'm standing now, my party feels the same way. But my party will take that decision. You see, the problem is, all those people that said I should go, they didn't hire me. I was hired by Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, His Excellency. So if the president says to me, because I don't want the president to come under fire because of me. Honestly, if I tell you the honest truth. Because he's been nothing but kind, helpful, and he taught me a whole lot of stuff. So I'm saying to you, this whole thing, this is politics. This is politics because I've been winning by-elections because I work hard for the people of South Africa.
And is the party supporting you now?
The party, 100%. Go and see our Facebook. The party is supporting me 100%. The party is behind me. This whole thing would never have come out. This is a campaign. Who goes 15 years into somebody? 15 years. My brother, the things I've said, the things you've said, the things all of them have said. So after this, we must go to every government official, every parliamentarian, everybody, and go and check what they've said years ago.
And do you still use the K word in that manner that, of course, the tweet suggests?
Number one, I never was racist to anybody. Let's start there. Number two, you can't, I wasn't a cabinet minister now. As a cabinet minister, there's a certain protocol. There's a certain way that you should behave, and I try to behave that way as a cabinet minister. If I was the cabinet minister now, I would have used other words for them. I would have told them to go F themselves, but I can't. Because I'm a cabinet minister. There's some protocol. I got protocol training. This is what you said. There's one, people are swearing me. Left, right, and center, some people. There's one DJ, he said, called me, and I said nothing. Road is long. I said nothing. Because I've learned on this road. I'm no longer the socialite. Why don't you guys as the media, why don't you speak to what I just showed you? I showed you as the media guy, this person was racist. And what did I say? I said to that person, bullshit. Why don't you guys talk about that? Why don't you talk about the fact that I'm quoting Gandhi? Why are you going into this EFF narrative? My brother, I work with, you know what my protector said this morning when he jumped in the car? He said, Minister, you know, that's the worst thing they can. I detest racism. I can take any tweet out of context, any tweet, any tweet. I want to say to the people of South Africa, I love South Africa. I love the government of national unity. I've been asked by saying all that nonsense things. We and Kenny were some crazy playboy guys in our day. We've grown up. We've got families now. And I'm saying to South Africa, I don't want to cause ructions. If my president, His Excellency, said to me now, step down, I will send him such a thick letter to thank him for believing in me, for trusting in me, and I will do what PA tells me to do. If PA says to me, step down, gaan grond toe. Ek gaan grond toe, Masika.
All right. If the PA says step down, you'll step down. And if the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, suggests that Minister Gayton McKenzie must step down, he will step down. But he suggests that, of course, he is not a racist.
So first off, McKenzie admits that most of these tweets are his. Yes, he tries to distance himself from a few, blaming AI, but he owns the majority. That's important. He's not denying responsibility outright. Now, about the racial slurs, especially the repeated use of the K word, McKenzie claims he never directed that word at anyone personally and that he used it in a context to call out racism. But let's be clear, Language like that carries weight, no matter the intent. The fact that he says he had thousands of followers when he posted these tweets doesn't excuse it. Social media amplifies messages, and public figures must be held to higher standards. Then there's his claim about tenderpreneurs and black diamonds being just better K-words. He argues the insult isn't exclusively to black Africans, pointing out that coloreds have also been targets. And that's a valid point. Yes, the slur has been used against different groups, but that doesn't erase the hurt it causes or the divisiveness it feeds into. When asked if he'd write those tweets today, McKenzie says no. He was a socialite then, not a politician, and that looking back, he cringes. That's a standard defense, growth and change over time. But many would argue, if he truly grew, why is he still so defensive today? Why frame this as a political campaign against him? And I think that's a fair question. Speaking of politics, McKenzie is clear. If President Ramaphosa tells him to resign, he will. And to me, that shows some respect for authority and the political process. But he also says the calls for his resignation are baseless. He challenges his critics like Julius Malema, pointing out that they also have questionable pasts. Now that's a classic deflection tactic. He's basically saying, you can't criticize me if you're not perfect. And I don't believe that's a good defense. It's more like a distraction. On forgiveness, McKenzie refuses to apologize for racism, saying he didn't do it and isn't desperate enough for his job to apologize for things he claims are false accusations. But he goes on to apologize for the sexist remarks he made, saying he and Kinigunene used to speak and act badly towards women and that he regrets it. Now this split reaction raises eyebrows. Why take accountability for sexism but not for racism? Finally, McKenzie addresses his recent criticism of a podcast accused of racism, while his own tweets with racial slurs emerge. His answer is that he rejects cancel culture and embraces consequence culture. He insists that the host of the podcast must face consequences, and that not only is he doing this to help them grow, but also to defend the colored community. This reveals his focus on protecting his community, but also highlights a complicated stance on racism and accountability. Because he says he expects consequences for others, but denies taking responsibility for his own racism. So where does this leave us? Minister McKenzie is a complex figure, unapologetic, defiant, yet somewhat reflective. His past tweets are undeniably offensive to many, and his refusal to own up to the hurt caused fuels ongoing controversy. He frames the backlash as political, but public officials can't separate their past from their present. The real question is, will the voters look beyond this? And can McKenzie truly rebuild trust with South Africans? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Watch the video on your left to see NCC's president Fadiel Adams beefing with Nelson Mandela's grandson. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time.